Welcome back, everybody. We're Primetime Action Sports. We're back here, Week 3 fantasy football. Me and Slayer have a showdown. We have to get things going. This is the pivotal time in fantasy playoffs because you never know. It could take a huge turn. Still early. Slayer, I've seen you come back from multiple deficits before, as well as myself, but this could be a big one. We're coming right back at you with starts and sits. Let's fire away, Slater. Who's your start? Who's a couple starts, couple sits? How many you got?
Well, I got 2 starts of this week in NFL Week 3, and one of those is going to be coming out of Duval, Jacksonville Jaguars running back, James Robinson. He's been getting the bulk of the carries Week 1 and Week 2. Had a great last week, and his injury, it almost looks like he's not even coming back from an injury at all.
Achilles, yeah.
Yeah, and he's going against the middle of the pack run defense against the Chargers. So I think James Robinson is a start. If you have him, you got to put him in your lineup this week. And on the other side of the ball, not on the other side of the ball, sorry, but on the other side, one of my sit of the weeks is going to be, of course, Travis Etienne, just because I think if you're going to plug in James Robinson, he's getting the bulk of the carries, you got to sit Travis Etienne. And then another one of my starts is a rookie, Garrett Wilson. Week 1, got a little bit amount of targets. Last week, 2 touchdowns, 102 yards, targeted 14 times. Joe Flacco's looking for him. He's his #1 guy. So if you have Garrett Wilson, you better plug him in this week. And then one of my other sits of the week is going to be Chase Edmonds. And Chase Edmonds, just because he's going against one of the best run defenses in the NFL against the Bills. And I mean, he only got 43% of the carries last week, and the coach of Miami's got a long history with Raheem Mostert. So I think if anything, they're going to be throwing the ball more just because of the way how Tua's been playing. And how those receivers are. But I think Chase Edmonds, if you got him in your lineup, you got to sit him too.
It's funny you mentioned Chase Edmonds because it's so weird because he's supposed to be the 1A at least, and you see Mostert coming out, and they have so much potential there with the speed. But I know they're playing catch up, and you think that would fall in Chase Edmonds' favor, but nope. It was Tua going to Tyreek and Waddle. So I like all those. Breaking news too, Josh Jacobs is downgraded to questionable. I don't know what's up yet. He was just in my lineup. I know Hunter Renfrow also didn't practice today, so we'll have to get breaking news on that. My start of the week is going to go to the Bears and Dave Montgomery. We saw what he's able to do. Week 1, let's just scratch that. That Bears and 49ers game, they were playing in monsoon. Let's scratch that. Last week, he gets 15 touches, 122 yards on the ground. He gets 3 catches. And the fact is, Justin Fields isn't going to throw that much, it looks like. It seems like, he's the attempted the least amount of passes. But this is a get-right game for Montgomery and the Bears. Gets Houston. Houston's not the best team in the world, but this might be a gritty kind of game, kind of run, ground and pound kind of game that fits Montgomery perfectly. I expect him to get well over 15 touches. I'll say 22 touches, a score over 100. He is my start of the week just because it's got to be a big game. My sit of the week is going to be Robert Woods on the Tennessee Titans. I don't know what's going on out there because it was like Julio last year. They assigned him to block, which he shouldn't be blocking. He's a good wide receiver. We've seen that before. He's a great player, but he can get anything going. Traylon Burks getting all the love whenever Tannehill's going to pass. And the Titans just look a little funky right now. They look like a team that's trying to figure out their mojo. Derrick Henry hasn't really been too effective these last 2 weeks, even though he did score, which salvaged his fantasy outing. But this is just kind of a team that's trying to figure out, let's get back to where we were a couple years ago, playing the title game, playing the playoffs. I know Tannehill's got kind of a chip on his shoulder right now too, and we'll see how that goes. But this is a team that I'm kind of staying away from. I'm kind of picking teams the last couple of weeks to stay away from. But the Titans, and specifically Robert Woods, are my avoids this week. And let's get back on the topic of Tom Brady because you said sit, I said start. Obviously he didn't perform well. He got the win, so they're 2-0. This is a team right now that has Russell Gage, Scotty Miller, Cole Beasley, and Perryman right now at their wide receiver corps. Godwin's not going to play. Julio hasn't practiced. Evans is suspended for his on-the-field fight with Marshawn Lattimore, which I thought because maybe I'm biased, he shouldn't have been suspended, but it happens. So I don't know what's going to go on Tom Brady. Are you going to sit him again this week? Do you have a choice?
No. No, I think if you got Tom Brady, you still got to start him.
Okay. Tampa's playing the Packers.
They're playing the Packers. I think you still got to start Tom Brady.
You have to, right?
And I think Leonard Fournette will probably have a decent amount of. They'll probably use Leonard Fournette a lot, but I think you got to start Tom Brady if you have him against the Saints. It's always tricky.
It just feels so weird saying like, oh, let's bench him for a Jared Goff or a Carson Wentz, who has been balling. But you're right. Let's just
go.
Yeah. Okay. Josh Jacobs didn't practice today because he's sick. He's out. Doesn't practice today with an illness. I don't know if that's because he hasn't scored, because he's afraid of the end zone. Maybe he's allergic to the end zone this year. I like Josh Jacobs. Let's get on topic with him because, you know, last couple of years he's been the guy in the Raiders. They declined his 5th-year option this year. They're getting the bulk of the carries. No one's else touching the ball, but he just hasn't scored yet. And you think of his outings, I believe it was 7 points and 8-point-something points the first, depending on how your league is. He just hasn't scored. But if you give a touchdown on that, that's a nice running back 2 kind of thing. With running back situation and like the running back 2, you know, because everyone's going to have a star. When is it time to kind of cut loose? Like, you know, I'm panicking over Josh Jacobs right now. I'm out trading maybe to Nick. Is there a moment in fantasy football when you're like, all right, screw it, I'm trading him for someone else, or do you just kind of ride it out with your guys?
I think it comes to a point, like if you're like 0-6 or something, I think then you got to make something happen. But
yeah.
I've seen time and time again where I've had guys that don't perform at all halfway through the year, and then the last 6 games they're the top 2 players in fantasy.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just gotta ride it out with them. Look at the matchups that they have later in the season.
Right.
You know, because you never know.
They play the Titans, so this is like I mentioned with the Titans earlier. This is a kind of get right game for who knows who. It's gonna be the Raiders or it's gonna be Titans, and I'm honestly very happy. It is an illness. I'm hoping he's just got the flu or a cough or something. He's not out because I was about to pick up Zamir White, sleeper. If you guys want to hit him up. But I agree with you about the running back too. You know, it's too early to hit the panic button quite yet, even though we all want to. But with your running backs or your wide receiver studs, if you need to make a move and you're just trying to get something out of it, do it. We saw Vlad and Nick do it, but they're not panicking. You know, depending on how you're looking at things. But I'm trying to think of a sleeper of the week I would like to mention. I think I'm going to go with my biased instinct of Dameon Pierce out of Texans, because I said Texans, Chicago, that sounds like a really low-scoring game, but a gritty game that might work very well for Dameon Pierce. He had a great 69-yard rushing performance against the Broncos, who are apparently a very good run defense. I'm feeling this is the breakout game. Bold prediction, Dameon Pierce is going to have a breakout game and show all those people who drafted him, me, that he's worth the spot and not worth trading. Maybe he'll be my starting lineup next week. But Slater, anything you want to discuss? NBA's right around the corner. We got Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement yet again.
Oh yeah, he's fighting KSI's little brother, I think.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, I don't even know with any of that stuff, the exhibitions and all that. It's really whatever. It's not the same, you know. The Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen.
Oh, I thought he was gonna fight Conor. Didn't Floyd want to say he's gonna fight Conor again?
He's not fighting Conor again.
I saw him. I think I was dreaming it.
Floyd don't want to put in the work. Floyd is smart, and exhibition's gonna get him a lot of money, but he doesn't want to put in. He's old, and he knows that. Doesn't want to put in the time and the grind of a regular training camp like he would have to put against Conor, because with Conor, he wants a real fight, not an exhibition. 12 rounds. No bigger gloves, you know, he wants the real deal. And I think, you know, they're at different points in their career. Conor's coming back for MMA, and he's really shifted the whole MMA scene. He's getting paid almost just as much as the highest paid boxers now in the UFC, which is crazy to see. Conor's not signing up for no exhibitions. He's only signing up for fights. And Floyd Mayweather right now, he's old, not a hit against him. He knows that. He's in his mid to late 40s. He's not going to put in that time and effort in training camp and stuff like that. So he's only going to go for those exhibitions and stuff.
Right. All right, I respect that. Quick question before we hop off. I'm going to shout out Coe because he was in discussion with me earlier, and we're looking forward to seeing you, by the way. Jimmy Garoppolo, upgrade or downgrade for the 49ers? Not only fantasy, but just in general.
I don't think downgrade. I think it's either neutral or an upgrade, because Jimmy Garoppolo, he's got that experience.
He's been there.
Yeah, you've gone to a Super Bowl with him. You were in the NFC Championship game last week.
Exactly.
So, last year. Sorry. And I don't really think I think for 49ers fans, that's almost a relief.
Yeah, I think so too. They forced Trey Lance into this role really early, and they still have Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, you know, maybe the best situation for Trey Lance is take another year, rehab, and see what Jimmy Garoppolo can do, and learn from it. Take it as, as a like a privilege. So we'll see how that goes. But so your answer is mutual.
I say neutral. No,
I'm gonna go upgrade.
I'm saying no upgrade, no downgrade.
I mean, he's not good. It's Jimmy G, you know, but like you say, they're in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They're NFC Championship last year, besides the Aaron Donald breakup, so we'll see how that goes. Slider, it's been wonderful. I can't wait to see our results for Week 4. Hopefully, make the best man win. Week 3? Well, we'll see the results at the end of when we come back for Week 4. Actually, we will not be here for Week 4. We're taking a bye week, early bye. We'll be back for Week 5. We'll talk results. We'll be back for fantasy. Good luck to everyone out there. Until next time, we out.